How you doing, Jawad? How's it going with you? Yeah, a little bit about me, man. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, the good old Show Me State. I was an 8-time state champion. I'm a state record holder in Missouri, so I'm the fastest sprinter in Missouri history. I got a full scholarship to run at Florida State University to be as a sprinter. There at Florida State, I won 14 ACC championships. I also was an NCAA champion in the 200 meter dash back-to-back years. I ran 19.9 in the 200, and I also was a 10 flat sprinter, as well as a good 400 relay split guy. So I can do it all in college. After winning the NCAA championships, I ended up trying out for the Olympic team, and as my senior year, and ended up making the team and going on to the semifinals at the Olympic Games. So had a really good career. Ran about 5 years with Nike. So now I am training kids professionally so that they can get a lot faster on the field. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Yeah, for me, the reason why I kind of went to college, being a very fast high school sprinter, I came in as the third fastest sprinter in the country, behind Jabi Best and Bryce Sean Nellum. So I was a very fast sprinter, I would say. And the reason why for me I really chose college was to mainly get a college education. It's for track athletes, it's not everybody can run for a long period of time, and I really wanted to go to college and get that college degree to have that second backup plan if I didn't really make it that far in track. And so another reason why was because I really wanted to get that exposure as an athlete. I think it was important for me to be able to let my name be a lot more known on a national level and let myself develop. A lot of these young kids turn pro out of high school, and you don't really hear about them much when they turn pro. So I think it's very important that athletes will come out very fast, go to college, and get a chance to experience the different culture, as well as getting that exposure they need to get those sponsorships and the necessary things to be able to have that plan, so that if they don't turn pro, they be able to have that degree where they can have a job and still make a good living. So that was mainly the top reasons I chose to go to college. It's exposure and gaining more experience in the track world, as well as educational. For me, my daily schedule was pretty different than a lot of athletes. I was very disciplined, so typically I wake up in the morning, I get a really good breakfast in me, and then I go lift weights, a pretty intense weight workout, and then of course I go to class. After that, I then have practice, so we really put in that work in our fall training, of course, and then we have tutoring. So usually at the big Division I schools, typically we always have mandatory tutoring, where we have people that help us achieve our goals academically. And then at the nighttime, I usually have a really good dinner, and I'm usually in bed by 10 o'clock. So I was very disciplined when it came to what I do each day. Everything kind of stayed the same for me, and so that's kind of what my daily routine was in college. Yeah, so typically a full scholarship covers everything at a university. So that's room and board, food. So typically all you have to do is go to school and learn. So I got a chance to make sure that all my meals were taken care of, as well as my classes as well. So that's typically what a full scholarship entails when it comes to getting a scholarship for track and field. So it's pretty awesome. It's good to have. You won't have to come out of pocket, so that really helps financially. As a student athlete at Florida State, teachers were very understandable. I know at some universities, some professors doesn't really care about athletes, to be honest. So they kind of treat them as equals. But at Florida State, the professors really understood what a student athlete and what it meant to be one. And so I really never had came across any professors that wouldn't work with me, knowing I was competing. Again, for me, I was always on my P's and Q's and making sure that I had everything taken care of, and let my professor know in advance that I'm getting ready for a big championship meet or a big meet, and so make sure I get the right materials needed. And so I never had to really, of course I missed exams, but that was easily made up for me when I went to class. So I would usually take tests in the professor's office, and so that I never really had any difficulties taking tests, and so that was a blessing in itself, not having to worry about, failing a class or missing an exam, because they was easily able to be make up. Yeah, so at a big university like Florida State, traveling was always a piece of cake. So typically the school books all the flights for all the athletes, and so usually they give us per diem. So in the U.S. we have what we call per diem. So at my school we usually get about $200, which is a lot for a 3-day or even a 4-day meet. And so for us, they would give us money as well as provide us food every day, for pretty much dinner really. Lunch we had to probably take care of ourselves. Usually we'll eat probably some subs or go buy something from the grocery store. In the morning usually breakfast was provided by the hotel, and so that's kind of how the regiment was for traveling. Typically it was pretty easy again. They provided everything for us: transportation, flights, stuff like that. And so yeah, again, it's not like that for every school. Again, my brother went to a small Division III school, so they drove to every track meet, and they had to get their own food and make their own sandwiches and stuff like that. So there's a lot of perks to getting to being at a bigger school. Of course, that's something that you're just gonna have to look into when it comes to your schools. But all the transportation and the food is provided for us at Florida State, and so that was something that was really awesome to have. And I would definitely take advantage of that as well. Yeah, so and then after I graduated high school, I came as a high school sprinter, one of the top sprinters in the country. And honestly, making the Olympic team wasn't a huge goal that I was wanting to achieve going into. So when I first got there, all I was thinking about was being the best I can be, and becoming an NCAA champion. So as I developed more as a sprinter and got stronger and learned more about myself and how to run races better, that really helped me really achieve the goals I wanted to achieve, and that was again being an NCAA champion. So after I won nationals my senior year, then I finally realized, to be honest, that's when I had opportunity that Olympics was actually in reach. And so that's when my coach told me, like, hey, go out to Olympic trials. You got a chance to make it. And so that's when I went there and competed the best I could, and ended up getting second place at the Olympic Games. So again, while at the Olympics, I was actually completing my degree. So that was something interesting that not a lot of people know, is that I was actually finishing up my 4-year degree while at the Olympic Games. So I had a lot going on, but it was a great experience to be able to have everything put in place. Graduate, make the Olympics, get a contract, and so I feel like that's kind of I had that story that you don't hear about a lot of athletes. A lot of athletes again go pro early, and they don't really end up graduating, and so that's kind of the road that I didn't want to take. I really wanted to focus on getting that degree, and also having the right things put in place when if I didn't really run track that long. So yeah. Man, the Olympic Games was an unbelievable experience. It's mind-boggling, the fact that I actually made it. I just couldn't believe the atmosphere there. Of course, running against you run against the best in the world, and so I got a chance to actually, again, like you said, I won my first race at the Olympic Games in the prelims at a lane 9, and that was, man, my heart was beating real fast, and I was nervous. I had a lot of things on my mind. I didn't want to embarrass my family, and I didn't want to embarrass myself on national television. But I just really put everything in God's hand, and I really trusted in Him, and that really helped me get through that breakthrough. So yeah, Olympics was awesome. Getting the chance to be in that, be on that level is just, it's a blessing in itself. And so I was glad to be able to say I got a chance to see Bolt win another gold medal in multiple events. And so I would definitely love to have competed better. Again, it was hard for me because I went into the Olympic Games running an indoor season and an outdoor season as a collegiate athlete, and so it was tough knowing that a lot of those guys were professional athletes and they was already fresh. They was pretty fresh, and so I really wasn't as fresh as I wanted to be. I was actually really fatigued, but I really tried to persevere and compete the best I could, and I feel like I did that. And so yeah, Olympics was an awesome experience. Couldn't have been blessed more. So. Yeah, being on contract was definitely an awesome experiences. I also got offered a contract for Adidas for the 2016 Olympic year, but I kind of turned that down to pursue other things. So that's when I started my business called Next Level Training. And so right now, what that entails is I'm really all about training kids and getting them to the next level. That's why I call it Next Level Training. And so I mainly get kids, I push them hard, teach them proper form and technique. Just a lot of kids nowadays don't really know how to run properly, and so a lot of them are getting hurt and getting injured. And so yeah, so that's what I'm doing 7 days a week. I do this full time, and I love it. I have a passion for it. I love getting kids better so that they can reach their full potential. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and it's going really, really well. I think as a kid growing up, I think the most important thing that I've done was perseverance and continue to work, regardless of how I did. So as a kid, I wasn't always the fastest kid. I mean, I was fast, but I took a lot of losses. Went to high school my freshman year. I didn't even make it to the state championships. And so I think as a kid, I think it's important that you don't quit, right? You're not gonna always be the number one guy. And so growing up, I've always told myself to work harder than anyone else. And so I always with that extra mile to get better. And so I think for me, which is being able to persevere, work hard, I think that's kind of what made me become the person I am now, and the athlete I've become. And so I think that's what contributed to that. What I would tell you guys, really, you athletes, parents, is that really take your time. Let your child, or you as an athlete, let yourself grow. I think it's really important that you don't try to go for the money per se. A lot of athletes tend to see a couple of dollars and they go for it. And so I definitely don't think that's a good way to go. As a track athlete, you're going to go through injuries. You're going to go through trials and tribulations. And so I think it's important that you guys think about your future and what you're going to have to do. Because again, you're not going to run track forever. Kim Collins, who's 40 now, 40 plus, obviously he's been blessed to be able to run for 20 years. He represented the World Championships back in 1999. But again, that doesn't happen to everybody. So you definitely you want to take your time. Get that degree, regardless of being in the United States. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's like in your country, but try to get as much knowledge as you can, educational wise, because again, you're gonna need a backup plan because track is not gonna last forever. So I would definitely encourage you guys and gals to let yourself develop, get that exposure you need on the collegiate level. That's going to help you grow. It's going to help you, meet new people, get those connections you may need when you're done running to get that job and help support your family. So I would definitely encourage you guys to do that. play sports for opportunities, because typically when you play sports, it opens up doors. And so not only for track athletes, but you got basketball, football, all these sports. It helps kids get that college degree, get that education they need to further their themselves. And so definitely sports helps a lot in regards to reaching those goals academically and athletically. And so definitely agree with that. My definition of hard work is just putting your best foot forward, putting that best effort out there every single day, day in, day out. And so I feel like you definitely got to put the work in. Also, making sacrifices is another way to put in hard work. So you got to do the little things to help you be your best. So that's what I think hard work is all about. Oh man, thank you for allowing me to do this. Sorry I've been so busy. But I would definitely just encourage you guys to continue to work hard. Really do everything you can to be your best. Go the extra mile. Put in that best effort when you're running and training. And so definitely take in everything you can. Listen to your coaches, trust in your coaches, and make sure that you're doing everything you can to be your best on the track and off the track. Yeah, thanks, Jawad, and yeah, I'm definitely down to come up there. And man, I've been all over Europe, but I've never been to Marco. So yeah, man, I would definitely love to be up there and maybe show some kids some stuff up there.